Hello everyone, this is Shahariya Chaudhary from Team 6 and this is the final uh, sprint in a way. So first of all, we have this bar chart that is gonna show you that the first we have set up the Trello board, and then MongoDB installed the MongoDB, and then loaded the database, and so on. We did the data model use cases, and at final we did the Power BI, and then the report generation. So what data governance is? Data governance protects against cyber attacks and security breaches, and also it reduces data management cost and increases the return on investment on data analytics. And data governance also plays an important role when it comes to decision making and communication, as it lightens the IT team's data management load and makes the compliance standard easier, that is easier to maintain. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up my MongoDB and the SQL server. So for the data governance, I'm just gonna run this thing and show all the list of collections. So over here we can see the tables that we have in MongoDB. This is the list of tables, and if we run the same thing on the MySQL server, it's gonna show the table names. Just to show you that we have a branch customer employee. Same thing, we have a branch customer employee. Moving to the next slide, that is the capabilities of system catalog for MongoDB. So as we know, MongoDB is really popular due to its system catalog, and it lets us to store any kinds of data, retrieve it, and even change the schemas as needed with time. The JSON documents model in MongoDB makes it easier to store data assets and attributes in a single place, and even it's even simple to represent the complex relations in it. The dynamic schemas in MongoDB are self-describing, and it lets users to add new products and features like recommendation system and evolve the schemas instantly without taking down the database or impacting the performance. The other thing that we see is the Mongo query. Right there is the Mongo query, which is really good with text searching, as it provides flexible access to the data. So let's see one thing. If we, I'm just gonna run some queries just to see that, just to show that it's working. So if we want to see a list of details of employees, I'm just gonna run that. It's gonna show all that. Anyway, moving to the Power BI. So the Power BI, we see that over here, first of all, the job status for the employee. If we want to see how many active, a list of active employees that we have, if we click right here, it's going to show that we have 79 employees total that are active, with the first name, last name, start date, states, descriptions of them, which is the actually the active thing, like if they're still working in the company, and the job description, like their position in the company. If we want to see how many people have retired, we click here, the retired status is going to show that 6 people have retired with their job description and so on. And same thing with the termination. um, if we just click like that, it's going to show that total there are 90 employees over here for this company. And then if we want to see what is the salary for those who has the highest salary in that company, it is the branch manager. Based on the data, the branch manager is making this much amount, and then it comes to sales manager and so on. It just goes like that. And then if we want to see about the customer data, so for the customer data, it shows that this data set shows that basically the number of customers that we have in the whole US, in terms of like how many customers have ordered things so far. So if we want to see how many customers from Minnesota have ordered in the last 1 year, if we click it, it's going to show that out of 1,052 customers, we have 113 customers only from Minnesota, and the total shipping charge that that was charged from Minnesota was 33K. And if we want to see those customers, obviously they ordered, and what kind of shipping methods they prefer is, if we want to see that, if we click like ground air, we can see it's that's the most like one customers was charged this amount, the total amount is. If we want to see second day shipping, there is none. For first day shipping, we can see 35 customers have 35 customers chose one day shipping, and this was the amount that was charged. So just like that, we can see all those data right there. So in that way, we can see from different states. If we click for Illinois, uh, uh, there we don't see any shipping charge for that state. But let's see some other state, maybe Utah. Same here, there is no shipping charge. So this pretty much gives the company, this dashboard pretty much gives the company to understand if they want to do any if they want to see how much how what kind of shipping methods people like the most, they can actually see it. So let's say right now I want to see out of 1052 how many people did ground air. I click it, it shows that 481 people, they have spent 31K for ground air. Okay, fine. We want to see how much people have spent for one day shipping. It's only 8 people out of those whole thing. They have only paid this much amount for one day shipping. So ground air is more popular. That's what I can see here. So just like that, that's how the Power BI works, and these are the dashboards. And let's go back to the PowerPoint, and now we'll be talking about more about the queries. So I'm just gonna play the video from my team members.
Hey everyone, this is Mohammed Khan from Group 6. I'm going to be demonstrating some of the stuff we've done on MongoDB. I'm going to start off with some of the simple SQL queries and some of the functions in MongoDB, and then we're going to move on to the use cases that we've been given. So I'm doing this in two folds. The first one is going to be all in JavaScript, and then I'm going to use Python because I wanted to get my hands on both and just get a little bit more experience with MongoDB. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is listing all the details of employees. So these are our collections, and I want to see what exactly is in the collection for employees. I go write that. And this is everything that's in that collection. The next one is we just have to see specified columns. So what I'm doing is in the employee collection, I am printing only employee number and city. There we go. The next one is the distinct product. So this one essentially says that there's two distinct products, and those are the product numbers that have the brand Sony. And we're doing concatenation here. So this one is going to take the street, the city, and the state from branch, and it's going to print that. Here we go. So you can see it's been concatenated. Now we want to know the length. The length of the first name is 7. Now we want to know, we want to make everything lower case. So we take the street, we made it lowercase. Want to do LRD, LTRIM function. Here we go. We're removing the last letter. We're actually removing any characters that are these from the right end. And then we want to do a substar function. So basically what it's doing is it's removing everything but the first character. Now we want to do the upper function. This is like the lower function, but just makes everything capital. Now let's look at some of our use cases. The first use case is list the top 1% of orders based on the gross sales and subtotal. Gross sale does not indicate shipping charge. It does not include shipping charge and tax. As you can see, that's the subtotal. And these are the top 1%. Here is list all customer names who have not placed orders. So how I'm doing this is I've made a variable, then I put all the order from the order table, everything that has a customer name that's distinct. So every customer would just be shown once. And then I've gone to the customer table and I've said if it's not in variable 1, then print it. There you go. These are all the customers who have not placed orders. Let's now move on to the Python side of things. So here it is. Ignore this. I've been I've been making it a little bit so I can test it out before I create the video. Here we go. So find number of employees in each branch and the total number of sales. Highlight that. Right click around here, and we can see employee number. These are the amount of employees. This is the branch, and this is the sum of their salaries. The next one is for each branch with more than 3 employees, find the number of employees in each branch and the sum of their salary. So it's like this, but the only difference is we need to make sure that they have at least 3 or more. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. So you can see all of these have at least, oh, so it says more than 3. My bad. Okay, now it's fixed. These should be the employees. Right click. Here we go. So it's fixed now. The 3 is gone. List employee number, employee total number of orders, and overall order average. I'm just going to highlight that, right click, and run it. And you can see here it is. List the employee number, employee total of unique customers they've served, overall average served by each employee, employee total of orders, and overall average of orders of all employees. Right click. Here we go. A list of products with total number sold and number returned. Here we go. These are the product numbers. That's how much they were sold. That's how many they were returned. Rank employees based on the number of customers they've served. Yep. So these are the counts and these are the ranks. Find the number of orders for each state handled by each employee member. Here we go. List all employees who are either processing orders or not. If they are, then indicate the total number of orders and their total sales. There you go. List state, total number of sales, the percentage of overall sale. Here we go. So each state, this state has 53 sales and the overall percentage is 5.3, which really worked out well for us because there was only 1,000 of them. List all sales and return sales and rank them in descending order. Here we go. Create a report containing all this information. There you go. I mean, it's been cut off because, well, it should come up as 1, but let me see if I can. Well, maybe not if I run it again. Yeah, but it should come up as 1 if you do it on the bottom. So this is the same thing as question 15, but we have added a new field called new subtotal. So here we go, new subtotal. It's been done. And the last one, because this is the last one, let me explain to you how this works a little bit. So that's my client. That's a variable that I've made, and I'm connecting it to a MongoDB here. Then I've made a collection. So my DB, that's the database, and we're using OES. And my first collection, I put in the basically the table. So this would be the collection, as you'd say. This would be the database, and this is the collection. And then I put that into a variable, and then I've cleaned up the data a little bit here, and then that's it. So we're going to run that. One thing always has to stop, doesn't it? Here we go. So that's it. That's all.
All right, moving to the next video.
Hello everyone, this is some of the queries I did in MongoDB during this class. So the first one, it's a user account count and
All
sum,
stuff we get.
and the
Thank
use
you very
case
much
for it.
for your time.
Count
I hope you have a great day.
Sorry about that.
the name of the column and count the number of value in that column. On the other hand, sum takes the column name and return it to the sum of the values column. And yeah, this is the code about it in the right side and the result. Second query, for minimum or maximum or average, the use case for it, the minimum function return the smallest value in the select column. And the maximum function return the largest value in the column. And for the average function, return the average value in the select column. And the result, you can see it in the top of the use of a group by. The use case for it, the SQL by clause is used to collaboration with the select statement to arrange the identical data into, and here is the code for it and the result in the right. Subquery with the quality and the use case for it, subquery with quality used to see implements with given matching condition. And here the code and the result. Use of n, the use case for it, the n operator allowed you to specify multiple values in where clause. The n operator is shorthand multiple or condition. And here's the use of distinct and the use case for it, the select distinct statement, it's used to return only distinct value or different value. And here's the code. The next one, it's a simple join, and the use case for it, a SQL join statement is used to combine data rows for two or more tables based in comment file between them. Sorting join, the use for it, join to a table and sorting them. And the code in the right hand, you can see the result. Three table join, and the use case for it, a SQL join state is used to combine data or rows from three tables based in a comment file between them. And the code and multiple grouping columns, the case for it, to group multiple columns and the code here and the result. This is the query and the use case for it. After matching the document and the content of it will return only the document that do not contain in the file. The next one, it's use of interest. The use case for it, it will find the same values in the two array. And here is the code for it, and here's the result. The following one, it's update specific column. The use case for it, it's used to update the single record. And as we see in the result here. And here is the update multiple columns, and the use case for it, it's update the multiple record in the table, as we see here. And here is the delete specific rows query, and the use case for it, it will delete the specified records from the table. And here is the result. And here is my last query, delete all the records, and the use case for it, it will delete all the specified records from the table. And here is the for it. Actually, I didn't run it because I don't want to delete all the records. And thank you, guys.
So moving back to the slides, so in this PPT we have added all the use cases that we did so far. It's just like that. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.